This economic implosion has begun. Don't kid yourself. It's happening now. It's going from a slow motion train wreck into a much faster motion train wreck. I don't even have a script today because there's so many things going on. I just had to put down a bunch of words on a piece of paper because we have to talk about everything, including Venezuela, quantitative easing, gold revaluation, unemployment, recession, and a potential popping of the stock market bubble. The economic implosion has started. I'm using this channel to help every Peter Leeds insider to land on their feet and even thrive as the scenery crumbles all around you during this slow motion train wreck. When I showed you in the last video that the unemployment rate is increasing, and I explained that a lot of it will get even more aggressive, the unemployment rate will go higher towards double digits. And we're just on the path. It's a glide path higher to double digits, and it won't stop, it won't slow down. And what will make it worse, of course, is the recession, which I've been talking about for a while. I've been way too early on this. It's coming. Just like I showed you in the last video. I was writing in 2011. I showed you the date on that article that Congress picked up. But that was just one of the things I was doing at the time. I was talking about a whole bunch of stuff. That was a young man's game. I'm not going back to that time in my life ever. So all of this economic calamity has been clear from decades ago. I've talked about it for an extremely long time, and now people are noticing it and everyone's talking about it. And so I'm going to not talk about it as much. I'm going to leave it to everybody else because they're all just saying the same things. They're going to be making the same jokes again and again on the same video in some cases. But I'm just saying that unemployment is going to go higher for a lot of reasons I gave you in the last video: artificial intelligence, inbound recession, the difficulties and confusion with the tariffs. And I just don't see it. I don't see how, what are people thinking? Are you going to get your money to double in the stock market? Is that what people are thinking right now? There are arguments that this bubble could inflate more. A lot of good arguments from people that I respect, that I agree with a lot of what they're saying, that, yeah, the markets might go up pretty strongly for a couple of months. It doesn't matter. You don't need to ride the edge of the bubble. Don't be involved with it, and then it's not your problem, whatever happens. But when this bubble pops, a lot of things are going to be extremely different that people aren't recognizing right now. I just don't see how this could possibly be the first bubble ever that didn't pop, especially when it is the largest bubble that's ever been created. I guess, would that be like arguing that the problem was that we didn't make a bubble big enough? And if we'd made it big enough, it wouldn't have popped? That's kind of what they're doing with quantitative easing, which I showed you in the last video that they're going to hit $5 trillion worth of quantitative easing this time, or higher. That's just my low bar. And they just keep acting like, well, now we got to do it even larger. We didn't do it big enough last time. And now next QE is going to be over 5 trillion at a baseline, a bare minimum. And they also will be lowering interest rates, which will kick off the recession if it hasn't started already. Both of which, well, all three of which, are really bullish for gold prices, precious metals prices, and it's even better for the Peter Leeds approved mining companies that are productive miners, that have a good reserve life index, are operating in the right areas, have paved roads going to the ocean, a good workforce, agreements with the Aboriginal groups. Those kinds of companies in politically friendly and militarily friendly regions are set to at least quintuple in price. Some of these. We're so early in the game. People have made a bunch of money and they're saying, should I take my profits? Should I sell? And I'm saying you should put more money in. My opinion. I can't tell you what to do. This is not personalized trading advice. I am wrong 100% of the time. Things are really heating up in Venezuela. I admit that at first I thought that it was just posturing and trying to negotiate something, but I think that things are lining up now, that there might actually be some kind of military event against Venezuela by American forces.
Earlier today, Venezuela announced the deployment of drones, soldiers, and a number of naval vessels to counter what they believe is a coming U.S. military operation with a goal of regime change.
It will be kicking a hornet's nest. There's no good outcome here for anyone, unless, although I do kind of agree with his policies towards Mexico and towards the drug cartels in Venezuela. I'm not against it. So once in a while, stop clock is right twice a day. As I was explaining to someone in an email the other day, a lot of companies that are a silver mining company, they're not looking for just silver. They're digging up gold, copper, and if there's a gold mining company, they might find silver, copper. They all produce all of it. You just take up a bunch of rock, you crush it up, and you pull out what's of value there. And it's very rare to get a mine that'll have just all we find is silver. There's nothing else here, just silver. It's not very common. So when you buy a productive mining company like the ones that are Peter Leeds approved, if you get the Peter Leeds newsletter, you get to hear my whole portfolio, plus you hear about all these stocks early on, which has been pretty darn profitable for a whole bunch of people. And now silver is going to be the next one, the silver squeeze. And as I told you in the last video, you should go out and get every single ounce of physical silver you can buy as long as it's pure. Right now, do it. It's like free money. But I do believe that part of the bubble popping will involve a stock market crash. And if it makes you feel better, if you don't agree with me, I'll say, okay, 5%. It'll drop 5%. That way people will say, okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see 80%. But what do I know? I'm just talking about what's happened a couple of times in the past with this exact same setup. Well, not as big of a mistake of a setup, not inflated as much. When it was similar to this, the same thing happened in the past in my lifetime. Here's a good one I just got. Been a subscriber for a year and a half. I've done well so far on the miners, up 320% and 129%. Thank you, Paul. And I wanted to call out the comment because it looks good on me, maybe because people will buy the newsletter, but also because it's a good example of how you're in a risky kind of investing game. All the stuff we're doing is speculative. We're trying to focus on stocks that are less than $5 per share. So you can get some pretty big companies, but still they're more to the smaller side, less safe, more risky. But the comments were a great example of how you'll win on a couple and lose on a couple. That's why you want to keep the stop loss, as you mentioned, but don't worry about it. Okay, you learned something. So you have a big gainer at 320%, you get another one, 129, and then you lose money on the third one. It's part of the game. You're always going to have mistakes, and just be focused on how you did find the ones that really gained, and just keep on doing that. You find what works, and you do more of the same. And as I explained to you in the last video, I'm using this channel to get the word out to more people, to get out of the way of this crashing train. And we're going to help as many people as we can. It won't be a lot, but it will be some. And that's what this channel's about. And that's why you want to help support the channel by clicking like, please, and making sure that you are subscribed to get the next video when it comes out.